Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey here on Daybreak. And once again, I'm happy to have in studio from Keller-Williams, Scotty Mills. Morning, Scotty.
Hey, Jeff, morning. Nice sunny out there today.
Sunny out there indeed. And we are close to March, just a few days from now. And spring is a busy time in the real estate game. I'm getting a lot of reports that as we moved out of last year and into this year, confidence remains high, and there are some pretty amazing numbers when it comes to amount of length of time houses are on the market and things like that.
Absolutely.
How are we looking here in the South Sound compared to nationwide in the real estate game?
Well, Washington State, along with Idaho and I think California, are running really strong on that mean time when a home goes on the market.
Yeah.
For example, Valentine's Day, if you're on the market, a lot of those homes are under contract. So I did a snapshot of a listing that we're taking up in Silverdale, Bremerton area, and the homes are going on contract 4 to 6 days after they're listed. They're going pending inspection. Pending.
Wow. So that means
quick.
somebody listed the house, and within 4 days, both parties in principle have agreed to a deal.
Yeah. What we call mutual acceptance, or it's under
Okay.
contract,
Okay.
pending the conditions
Sure.
in terms of the contract.
Is that the fastest that you've seen in your time in the biz?
It's been a while since I've seen it that quick. Now, of course, up in Seattle, yeah, I would say, yeah, it's just been the last year and running into this year, going pretty quick,
So is that?
which is good.
It was great. It's got to be great for you too.
Yeah.
Is that because of how the pricing and the housing market in King County is affecting the slow crawl around into Kitsap and South Pierce into Thurston and Mason, or is it just that the market is booming?
I think it's the market's booming around here, and also the job stats, stuff that are coming out. You're getting the areas like around here in Mason, up in Bremerton, the naval base up there, for example. When I looked at that area up around Bangor, those homes, man, there's not a lot of inventory for active people. So I'm sure they're getting multiple offers, and I expect we'll be getting multiple offers when this one goes on market. And it's just, the demand is just really out there. So I think what you'll also see is as people come into the spring, the home garden show season, they'll look and go, wow, I'm going to get my house on the market. And then the more inventory, and it's just trying to beat other sellers to get your home on the market now. Rates are still good. You can get multiple offers and get your best return on investment.
So let's talk about ways. How are we going to get to? So first things first, let's talk about what a buyer needs to do to have all of their ducks in a row. So as soon as they're ready to buy, they can put an offer down if these houses are going that fast. And what are some of the things that the seller has to have all lined up, ready to go, so these things are moving quickly like this?
Right. Yeah, and what a lot of us say in the business, like Phil and I, for example, will say, hey, there's probably 100 things. There's a lot of things you have to do in this business. And of course, number one, call us and we'll handle the other 99. as it goes. But in all seriousness, when a buyer gets a hold of me and we're doing a consultation, first, get your pre-approval letter from a lender, and if you don't have one, we're resourceful and we can give you guidance in that area.
Okay.
Because you got to know your purchasing power.
Sure.
So you can put your best foot forward on your offers. Because that whole thing of if you sleep on it, you don't sleep in it, and you play hard to get, you don't get got, and all those cliches. So we want to sit down and get a strategy that's in place. Now, I'm currently working with a client that we're going to get her house on the market, but she saw her little dream home and thought, oh, I really want that house, and I know things are moving quick. Well, let's do a contingent offer.
Okay.
And what a contingent offer is that we're going to put an offer together, and her down payment, majority of it's going to be contingent on her home selling. So once we get her home sold and closed, she can use some of her net seller proceeds for a stronger down payment.
Sure.
So we sent that contingent offer over and got it accepted. And I think listing agents are seeing the value in that, with the market moving so quickly, that the home won't sit there for 4, 5, 6 months waiting to get this other transaction done.
In the past, have those contingent offers been put forth to someone and then they go, well, like you said, it could be months before.
Yeah.
I want to sell. I'm looking to sell this house now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you buying it now, or are you going to buy it maybe in 4 months when your house is sold?
Yeah. yeah. I never saw a lot of my contingent offers a few years back get, it's like, okay, we got to sell this. And they were looking at, nah, market's not that good right now. When it was a buyer's market and you're trying to purchase a home and put your home contingent, it just seemed like it just complicated things a little bit. When you got somebody else that's willing to come to the table, that's got a pre-approval letter, they're a strong buyer, and there's no contingencies.
Are some of these or most of these contingent offers at full asking price, knowing that if they were to even go 10,000 below, somebody will swoop in?
Yeah, well, when I sit down with my clients, we're going to do a contingent offer, and that house, they tend to be the higher price homes, but the appraisal is going to sanity check that too.
Okay.
That's another, process that they'll say, hey, I'm buying this $500,000 home, but if it only appraises at 450, you go, oh. But the contingent offer people are saying, I really like that house. I know they're priced right in the market. They're going quick. I want to put my best foot forward, and I'll give them full price. In some cases, you get up north, like we've seen reading up there in the Seattle paper, where people are offering more than list price. So it starts this auction frenzy, a bidding war. And that seems to be a little bit of what's happening in this market a bit, in our price point.
Wow, even down here in South Puget Sound, they're depending on the property and things like that.
Yeah, it depends. Again, location.
Yeah, that's it. Location. And
other things being equal, it's one of those things, Jeff, that, oh God, if I don't get in there and get my agent to submit my offer, I'm going to probably lose out. I don't think the days of just, we got one offer and
let's just take it, because who knows when the next one's coming in.
Although usually the first offers or so are traditionally your best offers.
Right.
Yeah.
When it comes to someone putting up their house, they want to sell their house, especially as quickly as the market's moving now. How much do you still encourage them to put forth a good effort on curb appeal and things like that? I know that I'm waiting until March to start my yard work. And as spring gets closer, people are going to want to start sprucing up their front lawns. But would you encourage someone to maybe overhaul their whole front yard, or is it just certain things that they can do just to make it look nice when those offers start coming in?
Yeah. You certainly want to have it priced right, promoted right, and presentation. But when we talk about that presentation, your yard inside the home, you don't want to get analysis paralysis, people getting ready to get ready. Because there are certain things that you don't have to take it to, bring in the professional greenskeeper and stuff. Okay. It depends on what you can kind of get a sense for what is indicative of the neighborhood. Obviously, you want to put your best foot forward, and curb appeal is important. You want to declutter. Because the camera sees things that the naked eye, you look in there and go, oh, this is okay.
Sure.
A lot of, personalization there and stuff. And, the Northwest MLS, let's put like 25 photos in Northwest MLS, but on average, we do 10 to 15. Some guys even put together video as a strong avenue now, too, to promote your client's home through video, photos, open houses now.
Is the curb appeal on some of this, people you can say, yeah, you may not like that, but just take it out? Or it's just like painting, hey, you don't like this room? Why don't you like it? Because it's yellow? Well, change the color. Is that something if so, it's a sticking point for a buyer when they look at a property? Mm-hmm. If it's the curb appeal, something that they're kind of held up on, if it doesn't seem too out of control, you can just say, hey, a saw will fix that.
Yeah, well, a lot of times you can put your own personal touches to there. It's your own canvas.
Yeah.
So if you don't like the fact that, it's a wooden deck and then it steps down to just lawn, I rather have all concrete washed aggregate patio. Those are things you can do over a course of time that you want to personalize your lifestyle to adapt to that home.
But you wouldn't put those into an offer. Ever. You wouldn't say, I'll buy this house if you change the deck.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah.
No, because the seller would go, No, the guy right next to you here is going to give me full price for this with that deck.
Yeah. If there's a safety issue, that's a whole different avenue.
Right.
Hey, the railing's loose, or I got some board, some issues there, but we're not going to, say, okay, I'll buy this house if you plant 2 more Japanese maples or something, or.
And as a realtor, you're the guy who can kind of shake the person back into reality and say, listen, you're focusing on the minutia here. You're focusing on the wrong things. We're trying to get you into this house, which you like 98% about. Let's get this house going, because somebody else is going to swoop in here.
Yeah. There's a lot of times, like, I can relate it to the old saying, as you bounce off the bottom of a swimming pool, come up for air, come down again. So the first thing you're coming up, I want to get that house under contract for you, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, or Mr. Buyer, or Kyle Wielander, for that scenario we had, and get under contract. Then the next thing is, okay, let's get up our home inspection and go through that discipline, and then see where we're at and what's going on. And then, of course, you're going to have your appraisal, and then some of the other things that the seller's going to be having to do once we get through some of our home inspection things.
You mentioned Kyle, and we had talked about this, kind of followed this a little bit over the last couple of weeks. He got his keys, and what's that like for someone I know those pieces of paperwork you have to go through to finally get your house pretty thick, but once you get to that last signature, what's it like for you as a realtor, and what do you hear from the person when they sign the dotted line and they get the keys and they walk in their house for the first time?
Yeah, well, it's that dopamine feeling, it's that rush of serotonin, the thing of, here's somebody that initially thought this couldn't be done. They're not familiar with the process and what they see on TV or hear from friends and people. So the reality is, when you sit down and go through it, you go, oh, wow. And they'll ask from time to time, is this normal? I go, well,
Sure.
yeah. So there's going to be some things in there, some little bumps, the old oh by the ways, but you just keep going along and marching. And we sit at that table, and it is a stack of papers you're going through. And, it took us about an hour this morning to go through the signing bit there. And then he's got to go to off other steps. I go out and get the keys for him, and it's fun seeing somebody go from that point that they weren't sure, and then now, like, God, I'm a homeowner now.
Yeah.
And his friends some of them are buying homes now as well, and I love that part of it. It's yeah.
What's your phone number, Scotty, so you can help people get there?
Yeah, it's 253-405-2936.
We'll put the phone number and your email and the website all in the show notes here. Scotty, it's always good talking with you.
Yeah, you too, Jeff. Thanks so much.